Transport costs. Goods have to be transported from the seller's store or warehouse to the buyer. Usually the buyers have to meet the cost of transport. Sometimes the sellers might offer free delivery. The transport cost depends on the size of the goods and the distance it needs to be traveled. The bigger the goods and the longer the distance, the higher the value. Transport costs also include insurances, driver's fee, and fuel. Unique costs will apply if transport needs to be done under special circumstances like with cooling. Transaction costs. The financial cost that will be incurred when a transaction is made. The amount of transaction cost depends on the type of goods or services. Some types of transactional costs are tax. Taxes are levied on the transaction of goods, with the earnings going to the government. One such tax is the value-added tax. VAT is a sales tax imposed on each stage of production, usually a percentage. Tariffs. During an overseas purchase, the government could place a tax to make the good more expensive, known as a tariff. The main reason is to encourage people to buy from home producers. The government decides how much the tariff is. Currency exchange fee. In the case of an overseas purchase, the payment must be done in the currency of the seller, allowing the buyer to change currencies. During the process of exchanging currencies, a charge of 2% will be taken as payment. Administrative costs. When a business tries to buy goods, there is always an administrative process. This includes transactional documents with information like name of buyer and seller, dates, description of goods or value, terms and conditions, and signatures. The buyer will have to incur the administrative cost of things like document costs, computer systems, and administrative staff. Environmental costs. What are environmental costs? Pollution from the transport of goods, loss of habitats from the construction of warehouses or retail sites, depletion, using up of natural resources, and disease spreading when goods like animals or crops are transferred across countries. Research costs. We discussed the buying process in a previous video. Research costs will be significantly high for larger buyers due to the time taken when searching for the perfect supplier and the discussion of terms and conditions. Research cost is not only time, but the cost with visiting the supplier to discuss terms and conditions, which could be a lot if the suppliers are located overseas. Staffing costs. Bigger businesses often have a specialized department for buying. These departments employ specialist buyers who demand a high wage. Staffing costs are usually included in the wages for drivers and other important staff in the buying process.